I'm just saying that to create something, it takes a lot. It takes only a few minutes to criticize that and to make someone else feels bad. I'm back in the office, and today I'm not supposed to work in the restaurant where I'm working as a server, but they call me in, so I don't have much time that I thought I would have. And we have to talk about something today. I think the number one problem with the internet that everyone has a voice right now, and it's very hard to filter all these voices and to figure out what's good and what's not that good. Just think about 50 years ago. Only successful people had a voice. You have to prove yourself. You have to earn your voice. Today, you just have to pay internet and to have social media, and yeah, you can tell whatever you want. And I'm not talking about free speech. I'm just talking about that some people can really hurt other people on internet. And that's very sad. And I understand in the world where we are more connected with each other than ever before, obviously that we all have our opinions. No matter what we are doing in life and how good we are, we will face with criticism. It's very hard to create. It takes days, weeks, months, years. But to criticize what are you doing, it only takes a few seconds, thanks to the internet. And honestly, after almost 3 years of working podcast and talking with very successful and smart people, I never got criticized by people who are more successful than me. And if I'm criticized, I'm only criticized by people who never have done anything in their life. That's the most important thing to remember and to remind yourself when you read those critics. And we can all pretend like, oh yeah, that doesn't affect me, but it does. For example, I can read like hundreds of nice comments, and then I will read one bad one and it will stuck in my brain, and I will start questioning myself. I will start rethinking everything, and I stop and I'm just like, hey, is this something that I really believe? And I'm not saying that criticism is necessarily a bad thing. And I know it can be constructive or destructive, but we have to learn how to recognize the difference between those two. And if you are criticized by someone who is more successful than you, then there is something that you can learn from them, or maybe they are just wrong. And I try not to read comments, but then I know that I'm missing so much because there are so many beautiful and nice comments that I want to read, that I want to be part of my life. But that means that I have to pay price of reading comments that I don't like. And obviously, if you post any bad comments on my YouTube channel right now, I'll just delete and report you. No, I really mean that bad comments and good comments can both give you insights and advice about your future work. But in the same time, we cannot take it personally because we are not our mistakes. And that's something that we have to remember. And criticism can be a bridge between you and your growth. And by that I mean you can start learning from your feedbacks. For example, when we started a podcast, and then people will leave comments like, you're talking too much, or you didn't ask good questions. And then I would sit down and I would start watching it, and I would be like, oh my god, I really talked too much on this podcast. Next time I will definitely try to control myself more. Or when they said like, oh, you didn't ask this question, or you missed chance to go this way, then I would reconsider what they're telling me. If they're right, I would be like, oh my god, this is amazing feedback. But if it's bad, yeah, I would be just a little bit distracted for a couple moments, and I learned how to deal with it. When I published my first book, there were like a small group of people who start insulting me on social media, and Facebook was a big deal at that time. So after, I don't know, a couple of days, everyone knew for that new group that, like, trolling me all the time, and I got literally sick. I couldn't eat because I couldn't digest what is happening to me. And then I learned that they actually don't know me. There are many people on the internet today, and many of them are criticizing others. And those are people who never create anything themselves. And that's why they have time to criticize you. because yeah, they don't know what to do with their lives and they need attention. Never start answering on a bad comments because that's what they want. They didn't just comment on your video or on your blog or on your picture. They comment everywhere and they're just waiting for you or for me to respond. And if you don't respond, they will forget and they will move on to another one. They're trying to find a victim because they feel like victims. And try to actually understand people behind the comments. We often forget that there is a real person over there who is typing all this bad stuff to us. But try to understand how they must feel when they have need to do something like that. And just keep in mind that anybody can criticize, but not everybody can create. Learn how to seek improvement over approval, because all these critics are not about us. We have to understand that. Even when I see something in somebody else that irritates me, it's not about them. The only reason why I see that is because or I'm afraid I'm going to end up like them, or I'm doing that right now, or I was doing that before and I didn't feel good. But the only reason why I can see that is because I have that in myself. We often find ourselves worrying about what other people think about us. If you're more worried what other people will say to you, then you will probably stop doing what you love. Because no matter how good you are at something, there will be people who will hate that, who will try to discourage you, who will criticize you on a daily basis. That's a part of that life. And faster you understand that, it will be much easier for you. And the last thing I want to share with you, keep believing in yourself and keep believing in your purpose. And right now, guys, I have to go and change for my work. If you want to support my dreams and help me continue working on this channel, subscribe. So hopefully my boss is not watching right now, so I can quit my job. It's not that I don't like my job. I really like and appreciate. I really think that having a job is very important, and even if it's not my dream job and best place on earth for me, I'm still making money and I appreciate the opportunity to have a job. But if you want to support me and to help me living my dream, subscribe on this channel, comment and share what we are talking here with people around you.